Welcome to the NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show. I'm Dustin Padgett here with Levi Flores. We want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving week. Had just a couple of games on our past week, and we got a lot of previews. Big show today, Levi.
Yeah, starting off with Modesto Junior College versus the American River College. Semifinal playoff game, Modesto Junior College 4th seed versus the Beavers, which is the 5th seed, so Modesto will have the home field advantage. It's equal stats all the way across the board, passing, rushing, field goals, defense, whatever it may be, so it's a pretty equal game.
Yeah, last week you gave us a prediction, I believe, of a 21-17 Modesto win, so let's see what happens on this one. It's going to be a good one. We'll head to the highlights here. As we see, Modesto got the home game on this one, barely, very evenly record-wise on the season, but Modesto will come out the home game and let's see if that comes into an effect here for them. Here we go into the second quarter. It was no score all the way up until this point, and you got Savante Jordan for AARC taking it to the house on a 53-yard pass from Baldacchino. What a job there from Jordan. Move on here into the second quarter. You see Kendrick Bond with the interception. Levi, that's a big play here early going for Modesto.
Yeah, Modesto starting off really strong there.
They get the ball back, trying to tie this game up. You give it to Danny Velasquez, and what does he do? Right up the middle. Not a problem for Velasquez. One of his many rushing touchdowns on the year. Knotted up at 7. Move it a little bit further into the second quarter. You get Peyton Bass, a familiar name from last week. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Will he add on here? Well, there's one, 14-7. Move it a little bit further. This looks like a highlight of the last play, except it's right up the middle instead of to the outside. Bass gives you a little bit of both, Levi. 2 touchdowns there.
Yeah, averaging 5 yards per carry, 8 carries per game, and he scored twice during this already in the first half.
AARC gets a chance to come back here with a 61-yard pass to Jeremiah Johnson to the house, 21-14, back and forth game. We move it on to the second half. Lucas Curtis from Denny Velasquez, a 27-yard pass. What a pass from Velasquez to Curtis, threading the needle. We move further here in the third quarter. AARC not giving up, knowing their season's on the line. We get Baldacchino to Gerard over the middle. Great catch from Gerard to the house, touchdown. Move it on here. Great play from Velasquez. Just 3 minutes later to Jordan Porter, all the way for 66 yards, Levi, touchdown.
Yeah, Modesto racking up the points late in the third.
Yes, now they're up by 2 scores, but AARC, again, never say die. Baldacchino to Naquan Parker to make it a 1-score game with 5 minutes left to go, but unfortunately they were unable to get any more points there. That was the ball game. 35-28 final. Modesto squeaks by here. Very close battle, exactly like we expected.
Yeah, my prediction wasn't right, but the points were in that range. Quarterback head-to-head, Baldacchino versus Velasquez. Really equal quarterbacks, although the pass completion, 50% for Baldacchino, 60% for Velasquez, so it's pretty even there. Peyton Bass and Jeremiah Johnson, 7.5 yards per carry for each of them and about the same carries. So it was a pretty even match, quarterbacks and running backs. Even the passing, 2 huge plays for both teams.
Yes, I feel like in the end it really came down to turnovers. The Modesto forced 3 interceptions, and that kind of was the key here in the game. They came up 1 touchdown ahead, and I feel like those possessions that led to turnovers, which led to points, those could have been taken back from the Beavers, giving them a better chance. But hey, if you're the Beavers, played a great season, nothing to hold your heads down about. If you're Modesto, you're moving on to the semifinals. That was the quarterfinals there. The semifinal is coming up against San Mateo this week, and that should be a good game. Well, we're going to be excited to see that one. We will have that one on NorCal Sports TV. As you know, we do all the Modesto games, and that should be an exciting one.
Yeah, now moving on to the American Basketball Association, San Jose Knights versus the San Francisco City Cats. The Knights a new addition to the ABA, while San Francisco leads and is the #1 team.
Yeah, speaking of this game, we were talking about it last week in our preview. It's seemingly like it was on the paper going to be a rough game for the Knights. City Cats were a lights-out team, and they're going to be a tough team to beat this year. You're an expansion team in the Knights. Who knows what you're going to bring to the table? This is only your 3rd game of the season. Will the expansion San Jose Knights have a chance to knock off the San Francisco City Cats? We will find out. Let's get to the highlights. Knights get the home game here, which is good for them in that regard, to give them a chance to come out. Opening tip here, as you see, we get 4 quarters. In the ABA, this is not 2 20-minute halves, just for those of you who are curious. Opening highlight here, we get Lorenzo Graham for the Knights, their leading scorer in the game and on the season. Drives down to the hoop. Easy layup there, 7-4. Give it back to Graham, a 3-ball here, Levi. It's 10-7 game here. Moving on further into the first quarter, we get another 3-ball here from Tajai Johnson, a player of the game, FitGo Pro player of the game. Another 3-ball coming up for the City Cats, giving them a 9-point lead. Now it's a 6-point game. Moving on to the second quarter, we've got Indoy with the layup at the hoop. A little jump shot here from Buckner. Good shot from him. Moving on later in the first half, a 3-ball cutting into a 5-point game for the Knights. Next possession, Indoy finishes at the hoop. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game nearing the first half. Who would have thought they've been playing this well? Nice finish at the hoop there for the City Cats, making it a 7-point game. And then right before the half, you see a nice finish at the hoop. And now it's a 5-point game. On to the third quarter. Good shot here. That was Douglas nailing that one. Here we go. It's a 5-point City Cats lead, 8-minute in the third quarter. 3-ball. All of a sudden, this is a 2-point game, and now you see the Knights are in the lead, but you get a 4-point play from Goins as he taps his forehead, letting him know, like, I got it done there. We get another 3 from the Knights. They take the lead here in the third quarter. Late third quarter, Knights for another 3-ball. All of a sudden, they've got the 3-point lead, up by 4 in the fourth quarter. The Knights shocking the City Cats, but can the City Cats come back? You get a nice drive to the hoop there. It's on the middle of a 14-2 run. A 3-ball there from the Knights to cut it down to 1, but then another 10-0 run from the City Cats really puts them in a good spot. As we see down the stretch here, the Knights hit another 3, trying to get it back into it. But unfortunately, another 3 there as well from Graham to cut it to 9. And then under 20 seconds, they had it down by 5 if they could get a stop. But no, a dagger 3 there. Final 107-101. Lots of points like we expected. 208 in total. Exactly a type of point total I would have expected. But as far as this game goes, it was close the whole way through, Levi.
Yeah, there's 27 3-pointers throughout the whole game for both teams combined. It's a huge opportunity for them with the 4-point plays and the 5-point plays, as we talked about last week. 44 fouls in total as well, which is pretty big for a basketball game. A few players fouled out. Players to watch there were Buckner and Graham, as you mentioned a lot for San Jose, right. And then Tajai Johnson, that you mentioned a few times, and Outing, who actually didn't play that game. So it was a great game overall, and good job to the Knights coming in and trying to beat the number 1 ranked team, and they did a very decent job.
Hey, yeah, they played a great 4-quarter game, but they had a stretch in the fourth quarter that really set them back. And when you mentioned those 4-point and 5-point plays, the Knights had just 1 4-pointer all game, no 5-pointers, and the City Cats had 3 4-pointers and 2 5-pointers. So if you take those points that they got on those plays alone, that adds up to the 6-point difference that in this game. So who knows what could have happened if they had prevented some of those larger plays, or if they weren't in existence. That's what makes the ABA that much more spicy to watch, because you never know what you're going to get as far as point totals or shot clock, 3D clock situations. It was a super exciting game. I actually tuned in, and we hope you guys did as well. We've got a lot more City Cats games coming up. We're going to be taking a quick break here. When we come back, we've got our previews upcoming. We've got quite a bit of games on the agenda for this upcoming week here on NorCal Sports TV. Welcome back here to the NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show and access to all of me, Dustin Padgett, here with Levi Flores. We got some previews on the agenda. Got quite a bit coming up here this week. 2 tournaments basketball-wise on Saturday, and then we've got a couple of college games on Sunday to attend to.
Yeah, starting off with basketball, the NorCal TipOff. We have 7 games starting with the NorCal TipOff in Newark, California.
Yeah, this one is the 13th annual NorCal TipOff, the second time that we've had a chance to be out there, and it should be a good one. We've got, as you said, 7 games on the agenda. Let's get to that right now at 11 a.m. The first game will be between Monroe Catholic from Hayward versus St. Pat and St. Vincent's from Vallejo. Both of those teams, very good basketball teams. We've seen St. Pat and St. Vincent's before in the past on NorCal Sports TV. That one should be an exciting one to start it off. Then we've got at 12:30 Bishop O'Dowd. That's an Oakland team versus Modesto Christian. We've done quite a bit of Modesto Christian games before. Bishop O'Dowd, a very well-renowned program in Oakland. They bring out quite a bit of good basketball players. That should be a tough matchup there for Modesto. Going on to 2:15, we have Newark Memorial versus Grant. Grant, a local Sacramento team, well known for their football. I don't know about the basketball end. We'll have to see if they come out this year and have some better luck than they've had in recent years. Newark Memorial, the host team of this tournament, as we mentioned. This will be here in Newark. Moving on to the 3:45 game, we've got Reardon out of San Francisco. They'll be playing J. Sarah. They're out of Capistrano area, so they're both right there in the Bay. Very well known to each other. They played each other in the recent past quite a bit. J. Sarah is looking to be, the better team here, but, we'll have to see what happens on the court. This is early season stuff. Tournament-wise, you never know what's going to happen. We've got Clovis West at the 5:30 game out of Fresno, playing Windward all the way down from Los Angeles coming up here to play this tournament. At 7 p.m., we've got the Midi game. They're in the San Jose area. They'll be playing Campo Lindo, and they're out of Moraga. And then the 8:30 game, Dublin versus Weston Ranch to wrap it up for the evening. Another couple of local Bay Area teams there. This tournament should be super exciting, Levi. I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to be at the other one myself, but I'll definitely be tuning in after the fact.
Yeah, all these teams have great players and great prospects in the future, so it's just going to be a great tournament. And now moving on to the next tournament, same day, another opening day tip-off.
Yes, this one here will be at Casumnes here in the Elk Grove area, which will be pretty cool nearing where I'm at. I'll be able to attend this one. The 10 a.m. game, San Lorenzo versus West Campus. West Campus is local Sacramento area teams, so they'll be the locals here, but that doesn't mean much of anything in the opening part of it. It's not really like a home game per se. Then we've got Clayton Valley Charter out of the Bay Area. They'll be playing Whitney, which is from Rockland, where I'm living at the moment. So Rockland area team, Whitney. Hopefully they come out and play strong. I actually play basketball down at the local gym with a bunch of Whitney JV players. So, I know that they'll be excited that I'm going to be on the mic for a Whitney game. Then we're going to be doing Liberty Ranch and Carmel at 1:30. Then we've got at 3:15 another big Sacramento area team, Folsom. We'll be playing Spanish Springs. Everybody's looking out for Folsom this year. They're a well-known football team, but basketball, they're no slouch by any means. We'll actually be talking a little bit about their college team here in a little while. Then we've got at the 5 p.m. mark, Las Lomas versus Franklin, an Elk Grove area team. So a lot of these local teams coming out to this tournament, showing up. Then we've got a couple of games featuring no local teams, 6:45 Vanden versus College Park. Then the last game of the evening, 8:30, St. Joseph, Notre Dame versus Clovis East. That should be a good one. St. Joseph's team, very good ball club. And Clovis East, we've got the Clovis West team playing in the other tournament. So quite clearly that area out of Clovis is bringing good basketball. They've got 2 teams playing in this tournament. I believe that's the only team that's doing that, going dual and playing in both different tournaments here, bringing enough guys in their roster out of both their East and their West area to field 2 tournaments. So this one should be exciting. Like I said, I'll be out there for that one. But we've got 2 awesome tournaments on the agenda for this Saturday, Levi.
Yeah, both tournaments are going to be great players that you'll probably see in the future in higher ranks. So just don't forget to tune into those this Saturday. Now moving on, Lassen versus West Hills Coalinga. It's going to be a basketball game Sunday at Columbia College. Lassen is 2-5. West Hills is 0-7, and they're averaging 66 points, so it's going to be a great game. The rankings don't really matter so far. West Hills lost on the 23rd in their highest scoring game of the season, 84-97 against San Mateo. And this game will be played on a neutral court at the Oak Pavilion in Columbia, California during the annual Columbia Classic. With that, Columbia College will face off against Folsom Lake at home in the same tournament. Columbia College claim jumpers with a perfect record of 6-0 against the 1-7 Folsom Lake Falcons. Falcons won one game against West Hills Lemoore in a 76-63 victory. The claim jumpers hoping to extend their win streak to 7 while having the home court advantage. And Columbia, with the post duo of Keith Shakes and Carter, are ranked 2nd in blocks per game through all of California community colleges.
Yeah, Columbia, as we know, we've seen a couple of their games already on NorCal Sports TV just this season. You know, they're playing great right now. That should be a good one. Folsom Lake, you know, local team to my area, having a rough season, but you know, they're a new team. They've only been around for a few seasons. They're up and coming. They've got a new coach. They're hoping that this season, you know, can kind of be the way to break into things. And as you mentioned, this is early season stuff, so they haven't even gotten into league play yet. So these games, not that they don't matter, but they don't necessarily hurt you so bad if you're not losing. So as far as the Last and West Hills game, you know, both those teams are having a rough start to their season, but it could turn around easily. Coalinga looking for their first win here in this one, and Folsom Lake College looking to grab another win, but also to knock off the undefeated Columbia team. So, you know, as we saw in our game earlier in our highlight reel with the San Jose Knights and the City Cats, you never know what's going to happen in the game of basketball in any sport. You know, any given day, anything could happen. The Knights almost won that game. Who knows that? Who's to say that Folsom Lake College isn't going to come out here and play a great game? Only time will tell. Only NorCal Sports TV will tell. We'll have all of these games on the agenda for you guys here this week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in again. We hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday. After you're all well fed this Thursday, tune in on Saturday to watch all of those tournament games, and then we've got a couple here on Sunday. I'm Dustin Padgett for Levi Flores. Again, NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show. We thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.